Brains, how are we doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. What's happening to my favorite commentator slash stripper, Sim Daniel? Dude, you got your kit off faster than Richarlison in a Brazilian brothel. Like, I've never seen anyone flash the kits as fast as you did there. That was insane.
All bets are off when there's a last-minute winner, Brains. You should know that. All bets are off.
I semi-expected the game that the goal would be like yellow card or something like offside or something. just to see Brian pull out a yellow card and just like
he did check off the celebration, and then as soon as he realised, he was like, "Okay, I'm safe. I'm safe."
I'm going nuts. Gav, like, just explain to me like how that went for you, like emotionally throughout that game.
Oh, man, it was one of those things. I was like, you know, when you're like watching and you're just super trigger happy with, oh, this is going well, we're playing so well, and then I was just about to write in the group like, and this is probably where we lose a goal, like, you know, because we're just playing. It's like 70% possession, like, you know, we're just smashing them, and then, you know, they get a throw in, you know, corner from nothing, the ball spins out weirdly, goes the other side. You know, throw in, and it's just, I even kind of feel like it's harsh to really, who do you put the blame on for that throw in? You know, like Romero tried, but he couldn't really get anywhere near it. Kulu for kind of not reading the bounce right, but I don't know. I think that just comes down to like hammering the ball. Like he just hits the ball perfectly. He's done it in a couple games now. He's a sweet connector of the ball, that guy. So I don't know. I just think it was just what this kind of stuff happens in football. You batter a team a whole game and then they go up the other side and score a goal. But the thing with us is last season and some other seasons, like we would have just been murdered, and then actually the team would have been all over us, or we just wouldn't have been able to come back. But we've turned it around, and the thing that I loved was just Bissouma just never stopped. Like he kept wanting the ball. He kept, you know, even when like if it was like a freak, he just wanted to give me the ball quick. Let's go. Like he hated all slowing of the game. He just wanted to move, you know. And Kulusevski as well. Just you could see he was just mentally in the game. Like he never really, his dribbles didn't go wrong today. Like I could see he was like sharp today, Kulu. And then it took something for that moment to like work together for all to happen. But you know, it's a classic situation. Like as we were making these changes, I'm going, oh, he's going to take the entire front line away, and he's going to bring on Perry, Richarlison, and Johnson. Like, I just wanted Johnson to come on. I thought he might have been like the change himself. But I was thinking, like, this is a bad move. This is a big mistake. And then Perisic puts the crossover. It's just like Richarlison gets a goal and an assist. Like, oh man, what do I know? Like, and you got in trust, and Ange we trust, you know. It was beautiful.
Yeah, did you feel like, so you felt like the turnaround, that was like the result, and at the end of the day we deserved the victory, or did you feel like maybe we got a bit lucky with the way we won the game?
No. I feel like we should have been scoring through the game. I feel like there were so many chances. Things just didn't run for Sonny. He had, at one point he has a great touch, and then it doesn't go his way. At one point he has a bad touch. But I did think that he got into like some really incredible positions, though. He created against that defense, who are so good at closing the space. They are just so good at it. Like he created space inside, like not like space on the sides. He created it inside for himself. So, and Madison found him like multiple times. So they had chances. You know, Solomon, I loved how he played. He just can't hit the target. Like sometimes I think you've maybe got it in you maybe once or twice to put the ball over the bar, and then in professional football you should be hitting the target. You shouldn't be cutting in and skying the ball over the bar. Not at this level. Like maybe once you get away with it, but then you've got to get the ball on target. So I was a little bit disappointed with his finishing, but he still played well though. Like I was surprised how well he played. Like everyone, I can't go through that team and say that, oh, this player, oh, he was bad today. You know, like Sonny wasn't Sonny, but he wasn't bad. He still did some nice little link work. And it's just like when Richarlison came on, Richarlison was back to being Richarlison, like nothing's working. And then he gets the goal. And it's like, well, I was saying just before, we were doing a lot of good stuff. And it looked like we were, at the 70th minute, it looked like we were really starting to pick up, really peppering them. But then everything just ended up with a cross in the box. And I was like, why are we just crossing it in the box? You have to find other ways in. Like, a cross isn't going to do anything here. And so then that's why it made sense for Perisic and Richarlison to come on, because, okay, Perry's going to... And fair enough, like, Perisic is, with his age, is so one-dimensional. You know he's going to step, bang, go to the line and cross. You know he's going to do it. But still, it's like he's got the most obvious trick ever. He's got the most obvious superpower ever, and yet still nobody can stop the cross. He gets his crosses every time. And like he had one at the back post, it was like the most beautifully precise cross, So I just think, I thought Johnson was incredible when he came on. Like, what else do you want from a guy in 20 minutes of coming on the pitch or whatever? He dribbled through a bunch of players. All of his one-touch passing was precise and crisp. He takes an unbelievable touch. The one where he was offside, he was just offside, by the way, and he takes the touch. I could not believe how he trapped that ball so dead. He took that and then finished the ball. Where the keeper had closed the angle, he finishes the ball. Like, that's for all those people who were saying, Brennan Johnson, nah. Shush. Please, like Brennan Johnson will come in this team, and you won't miss anyone. You'll see a plus. So, I think we could have scored loads of goals. It just, they're a hard. I think they'll do that to a lot of teams. I think they will frustrate so many teams. Like they're dogged. They close space, but we carved through that space. Like I think we carved through that space better than most teams will. So I don't think we should be looking at it like, oh, God, what a close call. I think we should be looking at it like they got very lucky kind of with a goal, and then we didn't cower away. We actually went after it, and we just didn't stop until we got it. By the way, we deserved the 12 minutes, more than 12 minutes. That first half should have been easily 6 minutes. Like, we're 3 minutes? It was like you've had two big stops. Unbelievable. But, yeah, I don't know what was going on with the ref. He was... Every couple of seconds, he was frustrating. He didn't really seem to have control of the game. He was given cards for some things that was not a card, and then for other things it was a card. If some things he would miss, that would be a card. So yeah, but I genuinely didn't. I think it's harsh that we conceded a goal today because I thought our defense was. I thought Mickey van de Ven in the first half, some of his tackling was just absolutely beautiful. Like, and Romero, I didn't think put a foot wrong either. So. It's weird that we lost the goal today. It doesn't feel like a game where we deserve to lose a goal. Vicario was brilliant in the 3 times that he was called in to make saves. So yeah, I was just, it's one of those games. Like, wouldn't you want it this way? Like, wouldn't you want these amazing feelings? Like Ariane's jumping, humping a fucking cardboard cutout. You're flashing your tits in Daigle's face in front of like 4,000 people. Like, isn't this what you wanted? Are you not entertained?
Brilliant.
No, I genuinely thought if this is Ange ball, like I'm all in. I mean, it's crazy. It's fun. Not at one point in that game was I not entertained. But honestly, like. It was just super fun to watch. But I think when Bissouma carves through in the first half, the back post opened up. I can't believe he never hit it. He took one extra touch. But if when it opened up, so there's a defense that are so dogged, and yet our number 6 just carved right past them all. Yep. That guy's something else. I don't know if there's another player in. He's got a Kocha vibes about him sometimes. Like, I don't know if there's another player like him in the league right now. He's just, when you're looking at him, and then you look at even like you've got like Caicedo. No way is he a million. Rice isn't doing anything like what he does. Like you're looking at the players who are 100 million in this league. Even the Chelsea's other 100 million. What's his name? His name's escaping my head. Fucking
Enzo
Hernandez. Enzo Fernandez. So, like, I think there's players who are just not 100 million players. If you ask me, like, they're not, like, I wouldn't even say Bissouma's 100 million. Like, it's an inflated market, but I would say Bissouma should be on this quality that you're seeing higher than them. He's just flying right now. It's beautiful to see.
Well, Brian, but you were talking just before about how Sheffield United were lucky to go a goal up. You look at it now. This is another test that we've overcome, isn't it? We've just shown everything that we're doing right now. This was the low block that we had to try and beat and find a solution. We've done it the way we've done it as well, showing resilience, determination. We're just growing and growing, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's that thing where, when that goal goes in, you're going, see, the chances we missed today, we do miss Harry Kane, or everything people said, well, this is the problem with Ange ball, you're vulnerable at the back. And it's like, no, this was a throw-in that landed at a guy's feet, and he hit it like better than most people would ever hit that. He hit it on its bounce, like half volley along the ground. Like, how many people are going to have that hit, So it's quite lucky they got that goal, but it was the determination to not, shoulders didn't drop. Actually, Maddison had a little period where he seemed to wane a little bit. He seemed to kind of, like, maybe he didn't fully believe that we had it in us, Sometimes players go through that, but then he did wake back up. It was only like a few minutes, but he woke back up. And in that time, Bissouma really did start to control the game and move it and just take over. So, yeah, it answered a load of questions, but it also sets up this weird kind of unrealistic expectation of these 4 wins on these 3 wins in a draw. Like, this unbeaten run is great. It's incredible, but and we keep going. But obviously at some point it's going to go wrong, So as long as we kind of stay a little bit, anchored by the fear of when is it going to go wrong. I was listening to some Celtic fans on a podcast the other week talking about, they knew that Spurs fans were going to be shocked. They were all like, kind of, because there was a lot of Spurs fans who were kind of like, nah, what's this guy, and they had all gone through that. So they were like, they were all about like, we can't wait to see how Spurs fans like react when he's like just obviously the greatest manager alive, right? Like, they were all like, wait till you see what is going to happen with Spurs fans. But even them on that same podcast were going, still can't believe how good he's doing, because when he came to us, they were like, he was all right at first. It got better, but how has he hit the ground? And it's not taken obviously he didn't really have much of a preseason, but how is it not taken any time to embed the style of play? Because that style of play isn't easy. Right? Like, to constantly pass and make triangles and shapes and move the ball around and not get disheartened when it doesn't work, Like, that takes a lot of time, I would have thought. It doesn't take, well, like what Ross was saying, but when a manager comes in, you give them a season normally, unless you're at Chelsea, but you normally give them a season to, get going and build an idea of a style of play. But it just feels maybe with Spurs, and this is where like recruitment was exactly right, and the players who were there were dying to play this style of football. Yep. So that's why bringing in Ange, a player who's going to have that style, it's just such a marriage. And then when you have a linchpin like Maddison who can make that, some of his little twists and turns today, and then bang, cutting 45-degree angle passes. Right into the heart of the goal to Sonny. Some of them were unbelievable, like just another level. Like, I'm even though Maddison didn't have his game that he's had in other games, I still cannot believe that this is James Maddison. Like, yeah, I never saw him being this good at Leicester. Maybe because I didn't see it all the Leicester games, but I'm just kind of blown away about how many players we've got. Even Pedro Porro at times today did stuff that was just like, this guy is incredible. Some stuff he did at the back, some stuff he did middle of the park, the little flick round, twisting turn past the player. Deaded the guy. He got maybe 10 yards of dead on the guy. It was just like, he buried the guy. He buried the guy in 2 coffins of space. It was just like, how, like, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, we pretty much have a baller in almost every position on the pitch right now, which is kind of crazy. Like, I don't know when we will have ever had this in the past, if we ever have. I don't think we ever really have had it where we've got so many ball players all around the parks. And I think that's why there's not been as much time. So obviously, Ange comes in. If you've got me some good footballers, all right, cool. But if you've got ball players everywhere, then they all want to play this way. So that it's such a marriage. And at some point, we have to give the club some credit for bringing Ange in and for some of these signings to be as precise. You know, people were when Manor Solomon came in. So I was hearing so many people going, "Oh yeah, it's only because he's a free." He's a good fucking player though. Like some of the stuff he did today was just. I mean, I want him to hit the target more, but he is good. And I was critical in the first few games. I was a bit like, nah, I'm not really seeing anything from him, but he is a really good little player, and we spent no money on him. So this window is progressive. I know we needed more centre backs. Of course we do. And even Ange said that the other day. He's like, look, we need another centre back. But this window is proving in time to have been quite an incredible window.
Correct.
Every save you see Vicario pull off, you're like, David who? You know, you're like, wow. Like, I didn't expect this guy to be making these types of saves as consistent, you know. So, yeah, man, I'm just, I'm like really blown away by it, man. I mean, when I'm in a cast, and I totally forgot I was in a cast. when the second goal went in, I jumped up and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like, "It was a little spiky rolly ball on the ground, and I just stepped on that with my left foot up in the air, and I'm just like lying on the ground, like screaming, like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Housemates are like, "Oh, you all right? What the fuck? What happened?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. Oh man!
Tell me, the winner was scored by Kulusevski today. I feel he's a player who this season and for the past 18 months has come in for a lot of criticism, unfairly or not. Yeah. I thought he put in a very strong performance, obviously scoring the winner. What did you make out of his performance today?
I think it's really telling. You know, like sometimes, you know, like what Ange said about Richie a couple of weeks ago. He was like, you know, he's doing all the right work. Just because he didn't have chances doesn't mean that, you know. So basically, what Ange is looking in players is not what we're looking. We want goals, we want end product, we want the right things, you know. But Ange is not like that. He has to see, like, because he's building something for the long term. And then when that thing came out saying that Kulu had run more than any player in the Prem, like that's quite incredible. Because we're thinking like, you know, like we expect him to go around and do all these runs and stuff, but he's also been coming back. He's been running like at times like the length of the pitch to come back and help and then get back up and make attacks happen. And I haven't seen him play. It's not like he's been playing bad, but you know when you come in and you get so many assists and so many goals in your first, you know, half a season, it sets such a unrealistic, you know, expectation that he's just going to always do that. He gets injured. He gets depressed from not being at a World Cup. He goes through some things. There's multiple managers in and out. Like it's a shambles. But here's a good coach with him. And I thought he was brilliant today. I thought he was involved in so many moves. He did so many things right. And then to get his goal at the end. So he's got goals. You know, with what we were saying, what criticism can you give a guy who runs more than anyone in the Prem and gets goals? So for me, I thought some of his dribbling was really cool. And obviously his dribbling's not been bad any of the times. He's always been really nice and neat with the ball. But when he can put it all together, like then it's really cool. I think obviously we're just used to him cutting on the left and then hitting the back post with shots. But I think a lot of defenders will know he's going to do that. So I think the big thing for me was that where he came in off, he was on the other side. He wasn't on that side, and he hit the ball in the top corner with his right foot. So,
tell me about that, Brains. Actually, just a quick note on that, because he came on. Obviously, Brennan Johnson came on, played right wing. Kulusevski kind of moved a bit more centrally, And I didn't think he was having a bad game on the right, Kulusevski, but obviously he did move centre, and that's where the goal came from. A lot of people have been suggesting maybe that could be a long-term solution for Kulusevski, playing him as more of a number 8. Do you think that that moment maybe was evidence of that?
Well, if you watch how he plays with Sweden, he's got like a bit of a free reign as a kind of 10. He does pick up positions on both sides, and he comes inside. Like his goal he got during the week was on that side as well, right? So he is a player who can play in a 10 or play in, he believes he's a 10. That's how he thinks of the game. So I could see that he on any one of just one wing would find himself limited, So I don't think he wants to be on one side cutting and always hitting with his left. I think he wants to be all over the place and just find himself in good positions. So, but it's amazing that you've got a player who can do that. Like at the end there, we had one centre back on the pitch, and we went after a game with one centre back on the pitch. Like that's just. That is really going for it. And then to have him, I don't even think he was, because Johnson was on the right. Like, I'd have to see a heat map of where he was picking the ball, but I thought I saw him across the kind of 10 role. I thought I saw him all over there. He did pick up the ball a lot of the time in that 8 where Sal would have picked up, but he was the other side. And then that's where the goal comes from, where he kind of almost like in a Madison position. So, yeah, I thought it was... that just shows you that he wanted that win. He's like, I'm gonna go and help this play over this side. I'm gonna get in this position, and I'm gonna like. If he was on his side and he got a goal from there, fair enough. He's just doing his job. But he's on the other side. That means he's going to try and win the game, which is beautiful to see. And I thought Højbjerg's little work there, the reverse pass with the right foot around the corner, thought that was brilliant. When you see that type of play, the one touch give go. Every player, one mind, thinking we need to move quick. If anything, sometimes earlier on the game, it was not as fast as that. And when it's not as fast as that, a team like them will close and fall back and get in a position. But when it's that quick, I think we score against anyone if we move the ball that quick. You know what I mean?
100%. And talk to me a bit about Ange, because what an impact this guy has made. You've seen the crowd today and the fans in the stadium celebrating this win as if we'd just beaten Arsenal or we'd just come off a massive win. You had the Tottenham playing Angels over the Tannoy, and all the South Stand singing I'm loving Big Ange instead. And he's really just brought such unity and togetherness in such a short space of time. And more today, getting that last win, he said in his post-match press conference, the fans played a massive part today in getting us back in the game. Like, tell me a bit about what impact that he continues to make on this club. Yeah,
but before even Ange, I was super impressed. Like, I was supposed to be at the game, and then I got this broken foot, but so I was really bummed. But just listening when you're watching at home and you hear. We're 1-0 down, and you can hear the fans just like going and getting louder and louder and louder, like almost like willing the team, like almost like the team's power bar goes up, like a kind of Mortal Kombat Tekken power bar is going up. With the more the singing's, it's like charging them, And look, I think as well with I think the fans are so incredible because players feel that. One, it can be, as we've seen before, sometimes when fans are going and it can make players not stand up to that pressure. And like that, sometimes we've seen our team cower at big points. But then today, like it seemed like a different thing. It seemed like the players were getting more and more energized to move faster, to go for it. Certain players, like you could see, they were just like, give me the ball. Like Bissouma was like, quick, give me the ball. He was like so like, you felt his energy. It was just like, give me the ball, let's go, And like Kulu as well was just like, like move, It was so good to see him, and I felt that was like the crowd doing that to him. But also like Ange, I could tell when it came to he had the 3 players at the side waiting to make that change, and he just held off because he thought something else was going to happen. He was just holding. He was like, wait. So he's actually got he's got composure. He's got belief and he's got composure. And for him to make that decision with those 3, if that didn't come off, I mean, I know for sure, I would be like, what were you doing? Like, what were you thinking? But it comes off, and he's got something. He really does have something. He's got like composure. He's got understanding. He's got understanding of the game from time that is just not something that even someone like an Eddie Howe won't have that. He won't have that anywhere near the level of what Ange has got. And it's not about the height of leagues. It's about time with people, you know? And that's what is like the, you know, like when you're close to something and you lose it, you know, when you take a team that's garbage to winning it, these things, these kind of like the time and the kind of the culture that breeds into a person, like to be able to keep doing it. He's got something that that I can see now for sure. That so like you look through this league, there isn't that many managers who have that. You know that he's probably in a top 4, top 5 manager in this league, if not the world right now. On the time that he's had with players, the time on the pitch, to give him that composure to make big decisions. So he would have stood by, if this game was lost 1-0, he would have stood by that being the right decision to bring on Richie, Perisic, and Johnson, even if it went wrong. And then for him, it is the right decision. Do you know what I mean? And then, but the great thing about it is when you have that, a manager who's willing to make the big, tough, hard decisions, then you add in a crowd like that's willing to energize the talent. Then it comes down to the talent. You know what I mean? Like you need these things together for it all to work. It's like you know what I mean? It's like you're making a big remedy of success. It can't just be the manager. You know what I mean? If the fans, if you had him making that decision and the fans were all like, oh my God, and you can hear the groans, it wouldn't have worked. It just would not have worked. No one would have been energized. The fans did it. He did it. The fans did it. And then that injects the kind of boost into the talent to go, we need to give this crowd something to walk away with today because they've been like cheering us on through thick and thin all day, you know? So this is, I think, something I don't know how you quantify that in a shorter amount of words other than he's just a fucking badass. But it's so many things that make him a great manager, you know, and I don't think that's crazy to say this early. I think he deserves those plaudits. It's not saying like he's going to go and win a title or anything just now. I'm just saying that's just that he gives us something that we have not had for a very, very, very long time.
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Correct.
Braids, Gav, lovely to see you as always, my friend.
Always a pleasure,
always
mate.
Good to see you after win as well. And thanks
yeah,
for calling in.
I'm going to go and take those still images of you getting your tits out and put it all over the internet.
Put it on Pornhub, but make sure you don't do that. See you, Gav.
Yeah, nice one, dude. Take care.
See you later.